So hello guys, welcome back to the another session. Today I'm going to talk about the UiPath Apps Edit Grid. So let me show you something today. Edit Grid is a kind of a new control into UiPath BB apps, and Edit Grid will allow us to do a CRUD operation on list directly. So if you know, like legacy app has a kind of challenge how you can do perform the CRUD operation on the edit grid itself, role levels and all. So now edit grid comes up with solutions where we can go and add the record, edit the record, and delete the record on list level itself. So you don't have to perform some certain other rules where you can do pop-ups and everything. Yeah, so like I said, like edit grid control allow to list to edit pagination, search, tableau record. So yeah, so in normal tables or custom controls or anything else, we don't have right now any pagination or search control. So basically, if you have a pagination, either you can go and expand it and then scroll up and down. So now in this edit grid, what you can do, this will allow us to do pagination, move one page to another page, and then it has some out of box search control as well, where you can just go and search the record once you input the records, right? So let's go ahead and explore about the edit grid now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a grid and I'm just going to perform certain operation on that grid, and let's see how it works. Okay. So let's go to add control. I have already added one table entity, you can say leave request, and then in leave request I have some department, leave type, status, and all kind of a lookup table. So let's go here, and then in this page go and add a control. So let's go to control, and if you go into control, you'll have to go into display. Either you can just search also, like if you just type edit. So this search is also very much friendly. You can just go and search. So let's go and drag and drop the edit grid here. Either what you can do, you can just go click on edit, add control, and then you need to go into display sections, and then in display sections you can find edit grid here. Okay. So let's go and see what all features are there in edit grid. So if you go into edit grid, you can see we have general, events, and a style. A style is as it is like legacy. We don't have anything on a style for VB apps right now. So in events, we have some certain rules are enabled, like row selected or row added and row modified and row deleted. So basically, when you select a particular row, you can write the rules on this in this grid, like you want to transfer some object or you want to transfer some value to the one page to another page on, or maybe you want to display into below or something. So you can do based on the selected object row. Similarly, when you added, so you want to do some certain operation, like you want to add the records into entity. So you can do based on write the rules and row added. Similarly, if you want to modify the inline record, so you can just write update query on that, and then once you have row deleted, like you want to delete the records from this list, you can just write operations here, like just delete the record. So let's go into general, and in general we have a lot of things, like if you go and then you have data source. So in data source, either you can write the open expression editor and you can write the expression, either you can just easy way just go to query builder, and in query builder what you can do is select leave request, and then you can add multiple filters or everything. So here you can see this by default search control is there. So basically this say like main page dot edit grid, and then search column, there is a search columns, yeah, and then search term. So basically this go and enter something, it will search the records and then it will filter it out, right? Let's go and save it now. So once I go and save it, let me go here and let me go and open expression editor again once again. So now you can see here fetch of leave request. So basically this is fetching from leave request, and then you can see here filter, create filter group. So if you are using edit grid, you will have a lot of other filters. You can see here, like create query filter, and then this is for search column, right? So for search column, there is one filter. Then we have pagination drop. So for pagination, we have another filter, and this pagination, we have what the page limits and what are the pages start. So it works on that. So, and then we have sort option, like sorting the page or edit columns based on that, descending or ascendings and everything. Then we have expansive field, like, and then we have something called field option created by. So like a normal tables or kind of normal tables or normal display control, you will not see these many filters. Basically, the regions edit grid has pagination, search columns, and all those things. So that's the regions what we are able to see here: search, and then pagination, and then sort as well. So basically, these three are out of box generated, like search, pagination, and sort option. Let's go and save it now. So I'm not doing anything. What I can do, I can just go ahead and delete few of the details. Like, let me delete few of the items I can see. And then you can see here what exactly columns are. So you can just go and configure the columns. So in columns, what you can see, before columns, what we will see, you can see this display. You can see the display, right? You can hide the completely list. So you can just go make it hide. If you make it true, it will just go and hide it. And then we have something called editable and add rows and delete rows and search. So let me go first and preview it. Let me go and preview now. So once I preview, I have already one single record, which is coming from the entity. So now what you can see, right, we have plus, we have edit, and we have delete. So what you can do, you can either you can disable also these three kind of icons or maybe functionality. And see here right now, we don't have any search functionality. So let's go back. So you can see here search is false. So let's say I make it search equal to true. So by default, search is always false. So let's make it true. And then you have delete rows true, add rows true, and editable rows true. So let's go and preview it again. So now you can see this search by description, search by, you can just search by, and maybe you can search here. And the moment you can select the columns on which columns you want to search, and then you can just enter something, and then it will filter out the records directly. Okay. And if you just click on add, see, now you have add page, description, in index, lib type, lib. So you can just go and like select the value, and then you can either cancel this edit grid, either you can apply this, right? Now, if you want to edit this, now you can go ahead and edit this. So now you can just go and edit vacation, then edit this date, you can select the date. Now, if you have to select the leave type, so this is a kind of lookup table, so you can configure the drop down. So this is right now no drop down. So let's go, and if you want to edit, the moment you click edit, it will ask you for the delete record or cancel, and then you can perform the certain operation on that. So let me go and show you a few more functionality what we have. Right now, suppose we have an edit grid, and if you want to be inline, edit grid works like, suppose days, I don't want to allow them to add edit once that has been added, right? So what you can do, you can go into this particular data source, and then you can see the columns here, right? So now if you go to days, and then you can see here days, source is days, and then what you can do in this stage, basically what you have to do in this display, you can change columns name, anything, and then everything is binded with the source. So in the source, what you can do, you can just keep the name of the columns, right? Whatever entity name, or either if you are adding with the array or data tables or anything. So just give the columns name, that's it. And then in edit mode, what you can select, like what exactly supported types are there right now. We have text box, date picker, checkbox, drop down, and multi-select. So these also are a type of the edit mode control type. So you can select either of the type, and then based on that you can configure the either if you have a, you can say drop down, then you can configure with the particular entity or source, right? Now, suppose you want to hide this particular columns, you can just make it true, hide it. And then let's say I don't want days to be editable. So what you can go into days and editable, then I can say false, right? So make it false. Now let's go and preview it. So now I will go and edit this. See, now I cannot edit this one, but I can edit other description. So you can just control the edit functionality of the columns based on this. Like you can just go into columns wise, and then you can select the column and you can make the editable true or false. Okay. Now let's go and talk about something called events. So in events, I want to select, and then on select, I want to populate something, or I want to row added, I want to show something. So let's go here, add one more control. And I will say here something called, I can say here, maybe I can say, let me go and say, let me say days, how many days it is, right? And then I want to just populate down. So maybe I can say one more column here, right? So I can say this one is label one, label days, okay? So now once I click, I want to populate the days here downside. So what I can go into event, and then I can go to row selected and can say set value. And then I can say main page dot label days dot value. I will set the value to this one. Let's say I can say edit main page dot edit green dot selected item dot, I can say days, right? So now I can say to a string. So let's go and save it. Now preview it. So the moment I select these days, it should populate down. So let's say I selected this particular row and selected one, correct? So this is working. Now let's go and do some certain add, edit, and modify kind of features. So let's go and they say row added. So what you can do, you can call an entity. So let's say create entity record, and then inside entity record, what I will say, let's say leave request, and then in leave request, what you can say, let me go and make this non-mandatory. Hold on. Let's go and make it non-mandatory. So let me go to leave request. And then I can say end date is true. Then I can make it not required. Similarly, I can make mandatory or not mandatory, right? So you can change the mandatory and non-mandatory things here. So let's go here. So I have requested, ended, and all. Okay. So let's go and refresh the page once again. So let's go to the edit grid once again. And then I will go to events, row added. So it's not mandatory now. So now I can save it. So suppose I want to save the days, and it should come from the checkbox, text box. So what I can say, main page dot edit grid dot new item dot I can say days. Okay. So basically this has something main page dot edit grid dot new item dot days. Similarly, what I can say description, I can say main page dot edit grid dot, you can see a lot of things like page limit, page start, search columns, search terms. So there are a lot of things are there. So I can say new item. So new item is basically for the new item creation. So new item dot description. Okay. Similarly, if I want to do something, just leave that right now and it should go and it should save it. So let's say I'm saving only page and description right now. And similarly, I want to modify this. So what you can say here, let's go to entity, update entity. And then in entity, what I can say is like leave request. And in this one, what you need to pass, you need to pass the ID of the selected record. So what I can say, main page dot edit grid dot selected item dot I need to pass the ID. So I can select ID here. Okay. Now I have to update the record. So select, suppose I want to update the day. So what I can say, main page dot edit grid dot, you can say selected item dot date. Okay. So basically this will be like selected item dot date and it will go ahead and update the record. So now go and save it. Similarly with description, let's say main page dot edit grid dot selected item dot description. Okay, now I'm just performing two things. So now let's go ahead and let's say we have a delete record. Now I want to delete a record. So what you can do, again, delete entity record and then call the entity like leave request. And then here you have to pass the ID. So what, just selected ID. So what I can say, main page is nothing, just the page where you are right now. Edit grid dot selected item dot ID. So let's go ahead and run this and let's do perform some operation here. Okay. So now I'm going and running this now. So this page will run. Now see, this is the page. And based on the selection, I want to change the label to 1. So let's say selected, it changed to 1. Now I want to add one record, say add, and I can say days equal to, let's make days is equal to editable now. So if I go to days, editable equal to true, because earlier I made it false, non-editable. So now it should get edited. So let's go ahead and try to add one record. So I will go ahead and I will say days equal to 10 days, and description I can say annual leave. And then I can say once I click update, it should update a record. See, so I have one record here. Now suppose I want to edit this one. Now I want to edit, so I can go ahead 10 days and maybe I may want to make it only 5 days. I don't want to go for more than that. So what you can say 5 days annual leave, and I just update it and either cancel it. So once I click update, it should make it 5 days. So now you can see 5 and then 1. So let's go 1, and then if I click 5 days, it should populate here 5 days. Now let's go ahead and add one more record. So I can say 20, and then I can say sick leave, and then I will click update. Now what I want to do, I want to cancel one of the record here. So what you can do, you can go here into this remove icon and click remove icon. So basically once you click, this has a inbuilt confirmation message pop up. So basically it will ask you delete a record. You want to delete this record. If you cancel it, it will be there itself. But let's go and delete the record. So now if I delete, it will delete and refresh the page. So let's go and delete this. So now we have deleted one record. Now we have only 2 records. Okay. So what we learned in this one, like how to configure, edit, create, and what all are features and what you can play here, and then what all are events. So we have only 4 events, that is called selected, added, modified, delete, and then you can perform the columns level, editable, non-editable, and then you can add other columns, and then you can just assign the data source from either array, list, data table, or entity, and then you can perform the operation. And then how to set the, you can say, data source for this, and then what all are edit mode view. So you can see there are text box, date picker, checkbox, drop down, and multi select. So thank you for watching this session, guys. Thank you.